Welcome to Feaster Charter School. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Rosario Villarreal. I am the Executive Director here at Feaster Charter School, and we welcome you to the 25-26 school year. We have a lot of information that we're going to be presenting to you today. Again, just real quickly, I'm going to say this in Spanish real quickly. Si necesita traducción a español, tenemos audífonos o iPads ahí atrás con nuestro samaniego. Yo sé que muchos ya agarraron, pero si necesitan traducción, tenemos servicios para traducción. Gracias. All right, so a lot to cover today, and it's because this is a whole brand new year for some of you are returning parents with younger kids coming into our school here. So thank you for that. We're going to introduce our admin team, of course, myself and the rest of the team that's here. We're going to go over our mission and core values. Very important that we know, what we're about and how, we want to ensure that your children are being treated. We're going to go over the daily schedule that I'm sure you all have a lot of questions in regards to that. School expectations. Getting to and from school, we are a big school, meaning that we have a lot of students, 1,100 and about 50 students. We are the largest school in the Chula Vista Elementary School District. And let me just also share something. We are a charter school. We are Feaster Charter School. We're not, even though we are in the Chula Vista Elementary School District, we are independent from Chula Vista Elementary School District. They provide a lot of services for us, like the nutrition services, maintenance services, human resource services that we contract them for, but we are independent from them. We have our own board here at Feaster Charter School. Okay, so if there are more questions on that, I'm glad to answer. We're gonna go over our uniform policy. We do wear uniform, TK through 8th grade, and that's to ensure that our students are safe here at school. We're gonna go over our attendance policy. It's very important that students are here at school every single day, because that's how they're learning. Also, the truth is that the more that students are on campus, the more funding that the school gets. So if students are out of school, the school gets less funding. Behavior and discipline policy. We expect our students to be safe, respectful, and responsible. Those are our 3 core values, but we'll go over other behavioral and discipline policies and expectations. Of course, communication. That's our core. This is how we understand each other better by communicating with one another, whether it's in person, but a lot of the communication will be through social media, through email, through text, and we'll go over all those medias, and hopefully you'll be able to also, log into our social media accounts if you haven't done so already. We are going to be talking about our, again, that's going to be the teachers will be communicating through with you through what's called Class Dojo. If you're not familiar with Class Dojo primarily, and that's where homework is going to be communicated for the most part. Parent involvement, we have a PTO, parent teacher organization here on campus. And we have some parent leaders here also on campus today that are going to talk to you about, the opportunities that you all have to also be involved as parents here on campus. And then, of course, we'll have some questions at the very end. So our administrative team, so this is our leadership team, including myself, again, Mr. Villarreal as the executive director. We have Mrs. Brandy Sheppy. She is our TK through 4th grade principal. We also have Dr. Slayman. She is our director, meaning that it's myself, it's Dr. Slayman, and then she helps me also with our administrators and running the school. And then we have Mrs. Megan Ramirez. 5th grade through 8th grade principal. Although it says TK through 4th grade or 5th grade through 8th grade, they will help any parent, no matter the grade, if there is a need for assistance. We are all here for you all, okay? But if there is a particular question regarding a particular grade level, then that question will be then directed to the principal that is in charge of working with the teachers and students and parents in those grade levels. We also have, front office staff, very, very cordial staff. We work a lot on customer service. To ensure that families get their questions answered and, leave, if there is a concern with, a resolution to whatever question or concern there may have been. We have our office manager, Miss Elisa Barro. We have our school secretary, Ms. Mayra Montijo. We have our administrative secretary, Mrs. Anabel Ibarra. We have our attendance health secretary, Ms. Melissa Benton, and our nurse, Ms. Tomomi Thomas, or Nurse Tommy is what she goes by, and your kids will all get to know her because all kids go through that nurse's office at one point or another, and she's a very kind lady, although all these ladies are very kind and generous. And lastly, not lastly, but we also have Mr. Roel Mislan. I'm gonna introduce him up here in a little bit. He's gonna talk to you a little bit more about what he does here. There is a lot here that he's in charge of, our expanded learning coordinator, meaning anything that happens after school at 2:30 or after, Mr. Mislan is in charge. That he is our after school coordinator or extended learning coordinator. Anything that happens after school, clubs, sports, programs, he's gonna be in charge of those programs here. He'll come up in a bit. I'm gonna introduce also Ms. Haro, who's right back there. Ms. Haro, if you can raise your hand. Ms. Haro is our community school coordinator. So we do have a community schools grant that we are working on, and Ms. Haro is running that program. She'll come up in a bit, talk a little bit more. So I think I'm gonna go back here to Mr. Mislan. If you would like to come up here, Mr. Mislan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, my name is Roel Mislan. I run all of the expanded learning activities. So during the summer, during the fall, during the winter, after school, all of the athletics, enrichment, and the interventions is ran with our program. We're really here to service you and your students. We're really focused on career, like what we're doing during the normal instructional day, but really giving your students opportunities. So we have partnerships, of course, with the YMCA, where they are taking care of your kids after school during the summer. We also have partnerships with the Brain Observatory. We're looking at expanding all of our career options. So we have a maker space where your students are going to be able to create things. They'll be able to design clothing, make t-shirts, laser engrave things. And so we have a lot of different opportunities for your students that we're excited about this year. But just wanted to go over a couple of things that you need to know to get involved with for your students this year. We are going to be transitioning over to a program called 6 Crickets for enrollment. So that means if you want your students in the YMCA, if you'd like your students to participate in all of the different activities we have after school, if you want them in athletics or our world champion cheerleaders, you'll need to make sure that you register. And what you can do is at the top left right corner, there's a QR code. So if you have a device and you just scan it, it'll bring you directly to our enrollment and registration, and you can sign up there. If you are having any issues with this, with enrolling, please let us know, and we will make sure that you are able to enroll in it. One other thing that I would like to introduce is feedback and suggestions. So this is always going to be open. We're going to be sending this out on all of our different media forms too. So if you have ideas of things that you want to try, last year we had Ballet Azteca, where we had teachers come in and teach indigenous culture and dancing and a little bit of the language. But then I know parents have been asking about, well, what about language opportunities? So if you have all these great ideas and we want to hear it, just please know that we are trying our hardest, and sometimes it might not be implemented right away, but we do take your suggestions and feedback very seriously. I'll be around after also if you have any questions or ideas, so you can just come find me. So thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Karina Hara. I'm the community school coordinator here on our campus. My role here is kind of divided into 4 different buckets. One of them is to work collaboratively with expanded learning. Another one is to ensure that all students have what they need, so integrated student supports here on our campus. Another one is collaborative leadership, ensuring that everybody that participates within the Feaster community has a voice. So providing leadership opportunities for families involving our community partners. And then the last one is the family and community engagement, ensuring that your particular voices, even if you're not looking for a leadership opportunity on our campus, you are heard. You can have your questions answered, you can have somebody to talk to, and that we can work together to ensure your student success. So those are kind of the 4 big buckets that I focus on. Where we live here on campus is the Falcon Family Center. We have a small room that is composed of me and our family engagement specialist, Missy Russell. If you don't know her, you'll get to see her and you'll get to meet her. And our restorative practices support specialist. We are in 601. That's where we have emergency clothing, emergency food, and any emergency services that may come up, you can come to us and we can help you get you connected to services if you are already not connected to services. So that's our Falcon Family Center. And actually that QR code will take you to a page where you'll be like, hey, I want to talk to somebody at Feaster because I don't really know where to start. That's where that QR code will take you. And then we will respond and get back to you as soon as we can. We also have something that we call Feaster University. So we take education very seriously, not only as a school, but we also believe that our parents and our families deserve an opportunity to continue to professionally develop as well. So what did we do? We partnered with a couple of community organizations and we bring learning opportunities for you all here on our same campus. While your students are learning, you can be learning. So we offer things like ESL classes for our English learners, learner families. We have offered art therapy. We've offered a multitude of classes actually. So like keyboarding and Microsoft Word and all of these things at Southwestern College. We also offer parenting workshops. Parenting is difficult. I have a 6-year-old and it's probably the hardest job. I think we'd all agree. So then what we do is we work with those agencies to come and bring seminars and workshops to us so that we know how to be our best selves for our students. So that's Feaster University. At the end of the year, we're going to do something new this year. We're going to have a graduation for any parent that participated in any of the Feaster U. We're going to have a graduation because you also deserve to be celebrated. So that's going to be very cool this year. And finally, parent leadership opportunities. There are different committees. He mentioned PTO, but there are other committees that parents can sit on to make sure and to ensure that your voices and your input are heard. You'll hear me say that over and over again. So when any of those opportunities come up and you want to participate, you can come to us and we can help guide you on how to either apply or become part of it. And with that, next slide, please. 2 new amazing opportunities are coming up in family engagement this year. One of them is parent-teacher home visits. One of the things that we hear over and over and over again from our parents is, you know what, I wish the teacher would communicate more often, or I want to know more about my child. I want to hear when they're doing amazing and great, and I want to share the greatness of my child with somebody else too. So what did we do? We are training our teachers to make sure that that communication happens. One of those ways is parent-teacher home visits. That's when we leave our comfort zone because we know it's not probably super comfortable to have to come here 20,000 times for student things. So we want to go out into the community. We want to know where your turf is, where your spots are, what you know, what you value, what you have. And so we are going to be starting these home visits. So don't be scared when you hear about like, oh, you want to come visit my home. It's for no other reason than to come and learn more about you and your student in your comfortable space. And the second thing is going to be the Parent Advisory Council. We have a lot of local parents that want to express what's going on and want to make sure that we know what's going on, but there's no system for it. So one of the things that we are going to create, we're going to ask for every classroom teacher to nominate one parent to be like the voice of that classroom, because so that parent's going to be involved in all the classroom activities, it's going to have all the communication, but that parent will have a council meeting with us to be able to go over important issues and important data, and that way you can always have a say in the decisions that are being made when things come up. So if you are interested in that, talk to your teacher, they can nominate you. And we'll be rolling out more information. This is completely new. So if you have any questions, you can come to me, but that's as many answers as I have right now. Okay, well, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the orientation.
One more coordinator. Everyone, so as you see on the screen, I am Heather Gallion. I am the innovation coordinator. Whenever you get those fun text messages, if you comment on our class dojo, that is me behind the scenes doing my best to respond to all of your questions. And I hear you. We communicate too much. We communicate too little. I get it. We are working on that. So one of the things that I do is all of your communication. That's social media, your weekly emails, all of our highlights, pictures of your kiddos. I work on that so that we can celebrate our community. So some of our communication strategies include weekly Sunday emails. Don't worry, if you want to skip those, you are welcome to. What I suggest that you do not skip is our weekly event. So every Sunday we post just one post. And if you scroll through, you will see everything coming up for that week. That way, orientation doesn't surprise you. That way, back to school night doesn't surprise you. You at least know what's coming up. But my favorite thing to post, every Friday, we do highlights. So those are your kids doing things like coding and Falcons Accelerated. Those are parents showing up. Where did Hano go? There she is. Hi, she's over there welcoming people. Thank you, Hano. Good job. San Diego, am I going too fast for you? Of course not. San Diego's back there doing her translations on the Zoom that we have set up so that we can be accessible. So communication is one of my roles. My other role is technology. Mr. Carino, you're on it. Say hi to Mr. Carino. He is the reason why your kids have iPads to check out and take home. 7th and 8th graders, you just get those automatically. Mr. Carino is over there hustling to make sure that we have provided you all with accessible technology. My other role is grants. You know that beautiful field. That is my pride and joy. That was a grant that was given to us by the state of California. Why? Because we wrote it and we said, hey, our field's horrible. Come help us. And the state stepped up, gave us like 2.3 million to redo that. Same with our community school coordinator. We have these opportunities, like those parent involvement opportunities, Feaster U. All of those things exist because we are over here hustling to make sure that you all have the best school possible. So again, I'm Heather Gallion and I'm here to communicate with you. Sometimes too much, sometimes too little. Working on it. I will find that perfect medium for everyone. What was it, 1,150 of you? 1,150, yes, there we go. The other thing that we are currently working on this school year, we are updating all of our communication systems and our website. So this is not finalized yet. You're getting a little sneak peek here. What is going to happen with our communication system is it's actually going to be a two-way thing. So right now I just send out a text message and you can't respond because I don't get it. But with the updates, you should, I haven't tested it yet, so I'm using the word should. You should be able to respond so that it comes to us, so that we really can have that full circle communication. That way, if you're like, stop responding to my class dojo messages at 4 a.m. when you first wake up, I will get that text message. So thank you, everyone. And should you have any comments, questions, concerns, I'm here on campus. You can usually find me, or we all have radios, and just tell the front office that you're looking for me. Thank you, everyone.
All right, although our counselors are not here yet because our teachers don't officially arrive until Friday. Friday is the teacher's first day, including our counselors. I have the joy of presenting to you online our counselors. So we have 3 full-time amazing school counselors that work within grade level bands, starting with TK through second. We have Miss Gabby Fayan, or Miss Jacobo, she goes by. So she serves all of our TK through second grade students. You have Miss Bravo on the left-hand side, and she is our 3rd through 5th grade counselor. And then our 6th through 8th grade counselor, who's over on the right-hand side, is Miss Cheyenne Leon. And if it is that you want to connect with them at any point, you are free to scan that QR code. Your students get referred to them in 2 different ways. They can either scan a QR code in their classroom, like I need to talk to a counselor because I'm having a hard day or whatever may be going on. Or you can also self-refer or refer students over to the counseling center as well as our teachers. So it is a support that's offered to all students, but they do pull either individually or in small group depending on the student need. All right, so at Feaster, we have our vision and our core values, and we like to start off every single meeting on campus, including our parents' meetings with this. So if you are a new parent to Feaster, our vision is as follows: Feaster Charter School exists to meet the needs and foster the achievement of the whole child. So that is what we strive to do every single day for every single one of our students. We have 3 core values that we ask of our staff and of our students. We have a growth mindset, we commit and follow through, and we keep every single staff and student in mind. And those are things that we constantly shout out our staff for and everything else. Our mission is as follows. So although yes, we have a vision statement, this is more specifically how we integrate that vision in. So Feaster's Charter School is committed to promoting equity by addressing the diverse academic, social, emotional, behavioral, mental health, and physical needs of all of our students. We place students at the forefront of all decision-making processes. Our goal is to prepare them for college and career readiness within a global society, and we achieve this through an integrated approach that combines the principles of science, technology, arts, and mathematics, which is STEAM education, and language immersion in our instructional practices. So yes, we do have a DI program. We do have dual immersion on our campus. It's one of the teacher or parent choice programs that we do offer here at school. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Sheffy to go over our school-wide schedule.
Hello, good afternoon. So we're going to go ahead and start to get into that core information that I know you guys are so excited to hear. So if you have been at Feaster for a while, you're going to start to know a little bit of changes, especially with our dismissal. So let's go ahead and let's look at when we're starting. So if your child is coming on for breakfast, they are allowed to come on at 7:30 a.m. Only if they are having breakfast until about 7:50. The classroom doors to the classrooms open about 7:55, but class starts at 8 o'clock. But now let's go ahead and let's look at our TK and Kinder. So like you have been hearing all afternoon, we are bringing on 1,150 students onto this campus. So if you have not been to Feaster before and seen the traffic out here and the flow of cars, we heard you, parents, so we are trying to do something about that dismissal. So our TK and Kinders this year, they will be getting out 20 minutes early to really help reduce that flow of traffic in the front. And then also, you know, we're looking at that safety also. And I will get into it a little bit more with the dismissal for our TK and kindergartners. Our first graders will also be getting out a little bit early. They're going to be getting out at 2:15 in the afternoon. And then our second and sixth grade, they will get out at 2:30, and our middle school students at 2:45. That has not changed. And really look at Thursdays are our minimum days. So our TK and Kinders will be getting out at 12:40, first grade 12:45, our second through sixth at 1 o'clock, and our middle school at 1 o'clock also. And this is just not Thursday, but for any minimum day. So next Wednesday, when school starts and it's a minimum day, they will be getting out at that minimum time. Okay, getting to and from school. Just said it. We are going to hear it a lot. We are bringing on almost 1,200 students onto this campus. And this flow of traffic, we're right here in the neighborhood, so we really need your help with following traffic rules for the safety of our students, but also for the safety of you guys and our community. So please use the loading zone in front of the school for drop-off and pickup only. Do not park and leave your car in this area. You can't be ticketed. Do not double park. Do not park in the red zone. Park in stalls marked visitor only. When the lot is full, cars will not be allowed in, and park in the nearby residential areas or circle back and try again. And please do not park or block private residential driveways. We will hear it here in the office. And please pull forward as far as possible to pick up and drop off your child. So if you are next in line and your child is not out quite yet, you gotta keep going. We need to get that flow of traffic going. And don't you worry, we have a lot of support out here to help get the students in the cars and to help direct that traffic also. All right, so last year we became a completely closed campus. So parents will need to sign in on Raptor at the front office to access campus. So I'm sure you're wondering right now why you did not have to sign in Raptor. There are no students on campus right now. So when there are students on campus, you will need to go into the office and sign in on Raptor. And really, we're looking out for the safety of all of our students and your children. Parents will no longer be permitted into the NPR blue tables at the beginning of the day for breakfast. Again, we are serving almost 1,200 students. They could all, I'm not saying they're all coming for breakfast, but a lot of them do. We need to ensure that there is space for them to have breakfast here in the NPR or outside at the blue tables. All right, TK and Kinder. After this, I'm gonna do another short re-presentation of the TK and Kinder, but to support a gentle transition for our youngest Falcons, those first couple of weeks of school, all TK students will enter through Zone B from 7:55 to 8:15. So if you are not familiar with Zone B, it is over here by this big parking lot. So what is gonna happen is that parents, you can come onto campus at Zone B. Actually, it's not coming onto campus, sorry. You're gonna come in and with your children, and then the teachers will be them in line. They'll have their designated line. The teacher will be there, so you can come on and wait with the students until the teachers start to walk them to class for those first couple of weeks of school, so that you can meet the teacher right there, and then you can see them as they go off to their classrooms. But then again, like I said, I'm gonna do a little short presentation after this, so if you have any questions, you can go ahead and you can ask then. Like I said, teachers will greet students at the designated class line, and then they will walk them to class, and we're expecting, this to take a little bit longer than usual. So until about 8:15, and then we will be closing that gate. So once the kids start walking to camp or to class with their teachers, parents will need to start exiting at that time. All right, by week 3, most students will begin walking to class independently with ongoing support as needed. All right, again, we heard last year because, trying to keep it safe, trying to keep that flow of traffic going, we have designated our 3 zones for certain teachers, and we will be communicating this information. Ms. Heather has already done a great job of getting that information started to get out to you guys. And now that you know who your teachers are, because it's posted out there, you can know what zone you are going to be picking up your kinder student. So the grass area will be our TK, will be Tregner, Orocheski, and Blanco. Zone B will be Thomas, Mora, Bernazzani. And then Zone Z will be Granados, Tejas, and Drew. And again, we're going to be sending this out so that you guys have it all. All right, breakfast. Students will be allowed to enter the NPR at 7:30 only if they will be eating breakfast. And parents will no longer be permitted on campus again for breakfast. We're reserving that space. And students will not be allowed to enter campus until 7:50. All right.
Right, and I just want to clarify really quickly that the closed campus is not a Feasters thing. It is district-wide. That is why we did it. It actually was because of an event that happened on another district campus where an unauthorized parent came in, actually spoke to several students that the parent was not supposed to speak to. And so that's part of the reason why it was implemented district-wide. It's not because we said, you know what, it would be really nice not having parents on campus. Absolutely not. If anything, it holds us back from our family engagement initiatives. But we had to follow suit with what the rest of the district was doing. And so that's really as a result of it. When you sign into Raptor, what the system Raptor does is it automatically scans your ID to make sure that there isn't pedophiles on campus, there isn't some sort of warrant against or your arrest or the reason that you're not allowed to be near kids. That's why we ask for your ID. That's what the system does for us on a statewide level. So it's actually for the safety and security of your students that we want to make sure that who's on campus should really be on campus with the students. That's why it was implemented. So I know that's brought a lot of frustration and confusion for some parents. And that's truly why it's a safety thing, but we are happy to answer questions afterwards for you. So another just little small change that if you have been with us before, you have been used to, if my son or daughter forgot their lunch, or I want to bring something special to them, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it to the front office. The front office is gonna call the room. My son or daughter is gonna come back and get it. And what we found was, as we're walking through classrooms as administrators, I was in a classroom where, and without exaggeration, the phone rang 17 times in the 20 minutes that I was there. And it was because it was one thing after the next. I need this student, I need this student, I need this student. So when we're thinking about our teachers, how hard is that to teach when the phone is going off 17 times in a classroom? So we are trying as much as possible to protect instructional time. So we are going to ask that if it is that your son, your daughter left something at home, you are welcome to drop it off in the front office, but we are no longer calling the classrooms. So if it is that that happened, you are welcome to, like I said, tell your student like, hey, I'm gonna drop off in the morning, I'm gonna drop off your lunch. We will have a little shelf for them, almost like a to-go, where they're gonna come in during their lunch, they're gonna grab it and go, but we are not interrupting classroom time anymore. We really want to protect that as much as possible, because if we're interrupting for one student, we're interrupting for all 30 in that classroom. So we ask that you bear with us on that. And if it is, we're gonna have a little bit of leeway the first week and a half of school, because we know it is gonna be a major shift for some parents that were used to dropping off lunch every single day. And we are gonna instead, you have to remind your students in the morning, mom will still drop off, dad will still drop off in the morning, but it is gonna be their responsibility to come in, grab their lunch, and then go out to lunch. We are not calling the classrooms anymore to make sure that instructional time is protected as much as possible.
All right, our next topic is uniforms. If you are a parent, you possibly love uniforms because it makes things really easy in the morning when kids are picking out their clothes. As you can see, we'll start with elementary. Our colors are red, white, and blue. On top, they can wear red, white, or blue. On the bottom, it is navy blue. The one thing that we would really ask parents is just if you could join us in really making that effort to send your kids to school in their complete uniform. That includes shirts, sweaters, pants. It really makes it a lot easier for us and for your child if when they come, they're in their full uniform and they don't have to be called to the office because of their uniform. We also don't want to disrupt you as families by having to call home. So if you could please join us, we could be a team in this, making sure that our kiddos come with their full uniform. No jeans, that is something that is, even though they're blue, that does not count as the navy blue uniform. So if you have any questions about uniform, you can feel free to ask us after the orientation. Middle school also has uniform. Our colors are maroon and khaki only on bottom, only maroon on top. And that is for sweaters, jackets. Our middle school uniform is completely maroon on top, including outerwear. Whereas with elementary jackets, do not necessarily, we ask that if as much as possible, if you can follow the uniform, but sweaters do need to follow the uniform for both middle school and elementary. Now, we do have PE uniform in middle school as well, which is different than elementary. In elementary, there's not a specific PE uniform, but in middle school, it's gray on top and then black athletic shorts on bottom, as well as tennis shoes. And just in general, our policy is that if a student is not in uniform, they will be sent to the office with a uniform violation notice, and then they will be given a loaner item. They have to leave their clothing item in the office till the end of the day. They come back and then they have to change, so they're losing time out of the classroom each time we have to do that. So again, just as much as we can work together to make sure students have the uniform, we have our amazing community schools program that if you say, you know, I'm really struggling with uniforms, you can talk with Ms. Hato, see what help can be provided. Also, I know right now Walmart is already getting everything out as far as uniform. So again, just to avoid this process, we do our best to make sure they come in their uniform.
All right, so we know that there is a high correlation between student attendance and student achievement. So we want to see all your students achieve just as much as you guys want your kids to achieve. So with that being said, we want to see them here every single day, on time, ready to learn. And but we know things happen. I know as a mom, kids get sick, they have doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, things we cannot reschedule. But we really do ask that we try to schedule those during our breaks, during summer, possibly after school also. So medical appointments, please make appointments during school breaks or after school. And if your child is absent, please notify the school office that day. Tardies. So this again also, if your students are late here to school, that does affect also the learning for them, but also the learning inside of the classroom, because when they're coming in, can be a disruption. So when they do come to school late, they do have to check in at the front office with Miss Melissa. And tardies also do count against perfect attendance on a monthly, quarterly, and annual basis. And early dismissals, kind of like tardies, they can be disruptive not just for our students learning, but also the whole class is learning too, when we're trying to get them out the door. So any student leaving school prior to dismissal will have it logged on their attendance record. Excused early dismissals are given for doctor's appointments with a doctor note. So if your child does have a doctor's appointment or even a dentist appointment, please make sure to get a note from them to give to Miss Melissa, because if not, that will be an unexcused absence or tardy. And 3 unexcused early dismissals will count as 1 absence. All right, so attendance matters. Like I said, there is that high correlation between attendance and student achievement. So in our mandatory attendance system, caregivers must call the attendance office every time a student is absent. If not, even if it was a doctor's appointment, it is going to be an unexcused absence. Students who have 3 unexcused absences or 3 unexcused tardies over 30 minutes are considered truants. So students who miss 10% or more of the school year are considered chronically absent. Truant or chronically absent students will have a meeting with our attendance success team and must sign an attendance contract. And students who break the agreement of the attendance contract will be sent to the school's Student Attendance Review Board, for short, SARB. And that is held in administrative's office and thereafter placed on a SARB contract. The other important part of this are those families who are on zone transfers. So if this is not your home school, this can affect your zone transfer being renewed for the following year. So when we start to get those zone transfers, because we have to go through them to approve them every year, we do look at attendance. And this is something that we really do take into consideration. All right. We want to make this fun for our kids. We want them to come. So we have some initiatives every single quarter. Theme 1 for quarter 1 is step up to the plate. Every day counts. Swing into school, hit attendance home runs for quarter 2. For quarter 3, round these bases, keep showing up to win the game. And 4, slide into home and finish the year strong. So you'll start seeing these throughout the school year, to that initiative to try and get the kiddos here to school. All right, if you need to report an absence, it says you please call the school each day of the absence. Parents are asked to call by about 9 a.m. because if you don't call by 9 a.m., you're going to start to get that phone call that's saying, your student has not here. To report an absence, you're going to dial the school phone number and you're going to press 2. You're going to press 1 for Spanish. And you're going to record the student's name, teacher, and reason for the absence. If you need to speak to the attendance specialist, which is Miss Melissa, then you will go ahead and you will dial the school number and her extension, which is 290110. And again, if you have any questions or anything about attendance or anything like that, we are all here to support. So thank you. All right.
All right, we are getting close to wrapping up, so we're gonna try to get you guys through this, but we have a few uniform recognitions. We have perfect uniform that's done within the class. Teachers are tracking that. Classes, once they get the full, they cross off all the letters of perfect uniform, they get a popcorn party. We also have that for our perfect attendance. And then we have grade level attendance VIP. So just like Ms. Sheffy was sharing all that information about attendance, we really value attendance, and the way that we show our students that is by celebrating when they are here at school, because we want to make sure that they're here so that they're receiving access to that instruction. Also, we have our school-wide expectations. You might have heard this referred to as the Falcon Code. I'm pretty sure that every student here could say what the Falcon Code is, which is be safe, be responsible, and be respectful. And this is what we teach our students across grade levels in every classroom. So a little bit of information about the behavior and discipline policy. We do want to make sure that this school is a safe environment for all students. We are unique in that we have a TK through 8. So we have students all the way from 4 years old, all the way up to our 8th graders. So it is incredibly important that we maintain that order on campus, and we make sure that it's a safe place for all of our students. Things like taking other people's property, causing damage to the school, all of these are issues that will ultimately end up in consequences, but at the same time, we are a school that uses restorative practices. So our goal really is to teach these students how to be productive citizens in our society. We have other awards and recognitions as well throughout the year. Raise your hand if you have attended an award ceremony at Feaster. Anybody? Great. So at those award ceremonies, we have our attendance awards, we have our honor roll, we give character awards each quarter. At the end of the year, we have presidential awards, and we also have our reclassification awards for our English learners. If you would like to get a hold of us, that is the phone number up at the top. You can also Google it. And then just so you know, for email, typically if the name is not spelled kind of differently like mine is, then you are able to email your teacher's principal using the first last name at cbesd.org. There are a few exceptions like my email, but you can always find that information as well online or through the office. And then we have teachers, a lot of our teachers communicate through Class Dojo as well as our school communicates through Class Dojo. Final site is coming soon. You'll learn more about that. And if you are middle school, the #1 form of communication is through Jupiter. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to Dr. Slayman.
All right, so more than anything, Ms. Ramirez kind of covered it, but in terms of you have any questions at all, obviously Class Dojo is our method of communication this school year. I say this school year because we will move to what the district will do next school year, which is through Final Site. But for now, Class Dojo is the primary way of communication. One thing that we failed to mention earlier was how many of you have first graders possibly in attendance? Okay, so first graders, and there might be some online. First graders, so we used to have first grade be a 1-to-1 handoff, meaning that you would have to come in, you'd have to show proof that you were on the emergency card for a first grader. So this school year, that is going to be slightly different in the sense that we are no longer doing one-on-one handoffs for first graders. This is also consistent, and we saw that through the district as well. We are just doing one-on-one handoffs for TKers and kindergarteners. Our first graders, if you do have a first grader, make sure that you communicate with them day one, what zone you are picking them up from. This is going to be really important because what the teachers are going to do once they exit their classroom, they are going to drop off each of their students at the different zones. So if I have 5 first graders that are at zone A, they're going to drop off with the noon duty at zone A. If I have 5 first graders that are at zone B, they're going to drop off those first graders at zone B and so forth. And then also they'll drop off at after school programs for ELOP. So please communicate with your first graders where they are going after day 1, whether it's zone A, zone B, or Zone C, or if it's, one of our ELOP clubs once they start up. All right, other ways to get involved that Ms. Hado mentioned before is we do have a lot of different ways that parents can get involved with us. So again, Ms. Hado and Ms. Irasu are your go-tos. They are located in 601, but we do have PTO, if in case you are interested. We do also have a lot and ask for parent volunteers on a consistent basis. So if it is that you want to volunteer, we do have long-term volunteers. So if you are eager to volunteer for more than 3 consecutive days, on the 4th day, you do have to get what's called a life scan. We will pay that for you. So all you have to do is connect with the front office. They will get all of that set up for you, including a TB test. And again, that's just because you're going to be around kids, so we want to make sure that you are safe as you're here on campus. So again, lots of opportunities, but 601, Ms. Hado is the person to see if in case that you're interested in any family engagement opportunities. And there is Ms. Irasu. She is here virtually, but not obviously in the back of the room. But Ms. Irasu is our family engagement specialist. And she is the one that if you have any questions at all, she will basically pair you up with other parents. We'll add you to kind of our group chat and everything else that we have going. But she is the one to contact for anything that you might need in terms of parent volunteer opportunities. All right, last but not least, because we haven't given you enough QR codes yet, this is all of our social media. Again, Ms. Gallion does a fantastic job of communicating every single week. But we know that now, especially the upcoming generations, like to communicate a lot more on social media platforms. So we are following suit to make sure that information is accessible, whether it's through email, through social media, through text, through Class Dojo. We want to make sure that you get all of the information that you need. So with that, we are done at least for this part. If it is that you have a TK or a kinder student and did not attend the orientation we had for TK and kinder back in May, please hang on. Ms. Sheppy will go over a very abbreviated version of that. However, if you have questions that are not related to TK and kinder, Ms. Ramirez and I will meet you out at the blue table to answer any questions on an individual basis. I'm going to repeat that in Spanish one time, just so that way everybody's on the same page. Vamos a tomar preguntas si es de que tienen niños de kinder, o están en TK y no participaron en la presentación que vimos en mayo. Ms. Sharpie se va a quedar aquí para dar una versión de esa más corta para que tengan la información para sus kinders y para sus niños más pequeños. Si ustedes tienen preguntas para nosotros de primero a 8º grado, Ms. Ramírez y yo vamos a estar afuerita, nos pueden seguir afuerita y vamos a contestarle cualquier pregunta que tengan. Muchísimas gracias por estar con nosotros. Thank you so much for being with us. And Ms. Ramirez and I will meet you right outside if you have any individual questions.